smashed it out of the park. And if I see this setup, you're going to have Prio on bot side, you're going to have Prio in top lane, Pyosik is going to have free game anywhere outside the early game, because I think that that's where Fade has a little bit of an edge, but Fade is not the punishing type. I like this early draft here from DRX.
Yep, and also this is extreme comfort for Sokka as well. He does very much like the Victor. This guy just likes control mages in general, and Pyosik, when it comes to tearing apart an opponent jungler, it makes it better when he's on the champion that he literally birthed into the LCK.
Later in the game. But that is so far off, and I think this mid-game spike that DRX is going to have is going to be absolutely monumental. This invade, we've seen this backfire time and time again. He's going to get found out here.
I mean, it was so obvious that Croco was going to be here as well, as Croco's just running after him. Pyosik gets the smite off, but immediately the follow flash is going to be there. And yes, I mean, Pyosik should be able to kite this one relatively well with phase rush, as well as just being Lilia, so he does make it out. Fast, stealing things away. Pyosik might be able to contest this, but there's the flash up hold. As Pyosik gets exhausted, it looks like he's okay for now, as Bao just going to jump on top of the cow. Croco also in trouble now, as I didn't mean to rhyme everything, but sometimes these things happen. Flash into the brush, Croco in trouble, and Bao is back in this game.
I think it's necessary. I think one Mystic shot does not really do that much.
I think he was mainly just trying to get vision on Udyr so that he would run away. And yeah, look, that's a way to do it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, now there's a Nara into the wall. Doesn't quite get the stun, but it looks like they will have the damage. Kinging going to flash away as Pyosik. Not a lot that he can do. Does put them to sleep, but no, Summit actually going to be okay. Back to Mini Nara at exactly the right time. That's the hyper proc you were looking for. Shelly's coming. She's going to take the long way around, but she'll make it. As Kingin, he's got a long walk to get out of this one. As, yep, out of the brush comes the scary shellfish. It's a really cute way.
Possible flank from Summit necessary. If you just let the DRX poke for free, it'll be a rough one for Liv Sandbox.
He's also getting poked out. Doesn't have much of a Nabar. As in goes Becca, flashes away immediately, as now Effort gets amongst it. It is going to be the Ocean Soul as the Solar Flare connects onto Effort as well. It's a big old sleep as Kingin looking for Summit off towards the side, just keeping him busy, but he's just going to get solo killed off towards the edge. And Liv Sandbox actually win the ensuing 4v4 off to the other side. And Bao realizes he has no real option as they were waiting to deliver him back into the pit. And this one should go over to Prince pretty comfortably. That was adorable.
The flip side of this is that DRX's struggles continue. This is not the same team.
This is the worry, right? And Effort going to displace Becca. He tries to get back out again, but that's 4 people. There's no amount of tankiness that this Leona has that's going to allow her to survive that.
Once your Pokemon becomes inconsequential.
Oh. Effort finds him once again. Oh, not going to be in range of the trample, though. It's good sidestep. And, it's getting close. Summit really wants to get that. Hop does not find the blind. Boomerang.
Engage. You needs to carry all the weight, and I don't think that she really can.
Well, Pyosik's going to get smacked into a wall. The wallop does come down, but now it is Summit's turn to get surrounded, and he's going to get popped. So the little orange balloon going to be said goodbye to, and now Effort looking for some revenge. And Becca, I think I've seen this movie before. This is going to be difficult. True Shot Barrage going to connect through the Eclipse, not quite enough, but with Syndra there, they are able to lock down the Leona. Grabbing himself a kill here, DRX grouping up as 5. And we're looking for Soul Point on the side of Liv Sandbox. They get it as I say it. And now, okay, poke on both sides, remember, but you do have to be really careful. This Ezreal is hitting like a truck. Kingin in so much trouble. He'll get stunned. There's the pole. Goodbye, Jace. The trade's going to be there most likely as the Alistair will fall down, and the Chaos Storm did do a fair bit of damage. Summit looking for the re-engage as Solar Flare finds a slow onto Fate. Pyosik goes golden, but now he might be out of position. Has to flash, but does make it to safety. 1-for-1 still, as DRX are looking now to disengage.
And the fights are really going well for Liv Sandbox here, even with Effort dying there in the very end.
That much.
Oh boy.
Yep. Is it happening? Is Summit once again going to get caught out of position? In goes Bao. Hops back out with the reset, and he'll be able to grab it. Team, I believe, in the last 2 years. It's one of those hurdles they haven't been able to get over, and now Summit looking for an opportunity. Pyosik goes golden. True Shot Barrage a little bit too early as the Bambi just escapes. Gonna be all right for now, but that's a lot of buttons now on cooldown as Liv Sandbox look to take down their Ocean Soul, and they should be able to just grab this for free. Yeah, plenty of damage right there. Scatter the Weak doesn't land, but who cares? They've got an Ocean Soul on a comp that has some pretty decent poke. Bao is still an option, still a win condition, as there's a headbutt pull from Effort. Doesn't necessarily find enough of his targets. It looks like Kingan's going to go down. Summit finds the backline as well, as the Meganar will get stunned up. Becca now looking for his way out. It's Fate. Wants to be able to lock this one down. Croco is dead already. Bao is at full health. There were some lower health bars on the side of Liv Sandbox and DRX. It could have been way worse for these guys. Oh! Yoshik just gets completely clobbered by the True Shot barrage.
As you said before, Liv Sandbox, they don't skill poorly either. Sure, they don't have the greatest of teamfight comps, but they have hard engage. Effort has been super diligent in making those plays work, and I think the base is just going to crumble here, Atlas.
Yep, certainly started to, as that's a decent scat of the week. Onto Becker, he gets taken down below half health. Not going to be engaging anytime soon. Eclipse not enough to save this guy. There's just too much damage. This was a different Jace that would have been actually something that mattered, but unfortunately not quite, as Becca has to flash away as well. So much range, so much poke, so many things just flying towards DRX. Liv Sandbox now just going to kite back towards the Elder Drake that has just popped up. Now looking to set up a gank brush. There are many different brush options. Okay, that's a decent stopwatch from Kingan. Keeps himself alive for the moment. Flashes out, Croco gets exploded. Bao picks up that kill, but they've traded 1 for 1 for now. Effort now has to limp out of this fight, as you can see Summit looking for even more. Solka, oh god, every auto attack is so damaging. But Liv Sandbox, look at these low health bars. Does not matter. Tick, 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 and they're full health again thanks to the Ocean Salt.
And the base is crumbling. They just lost 1 Nexus turret. If they didn't all go back there, they would have lost 2. The triple inhibitor down is one of the most prohibitive things in League of Legends, Atlas. You can't leave your base ever. DRX, they go for a Hail Mary fight, hoping to find an angle. They absolutely do not find anything.
Yep, now we're pushing in towards the base. Oh god, Bao is so close to getting dragoned. But he does make it back to the fountain for now. This Nexus turret, oh my god, it explodes. Huge pulverize from Effort, as well as Kingan died at some point in that fight. Now the dragon's coming down. Double kill already for the Ezreal, as Effort gets saved by a buster shot actually for quite some time. But now Prince is just able to play with his food. That's the Quadra. The Nexus is dead, and Liv Sandbox, while we talk about it,
and of
a
course,
lot of damage done by the Ezreal. Prince was just massive this game.
And this was with the DRX mid and bot lane actually getting a kill early.
Yeah.
And it didn't change anything about the matchup. It didn't really change anything about how the game as a whole went. And DRX, they need to find a way to stop fighting themselves, because this team is looking way more insecure. They're not looking as clean. The things that made them really strong initially were not only the way that they played out their late game flippy moments where it's just like, haha, we got you after all, but also legitimately individual performances that right now, just not there.
Yeah.
Welcome back everybody to the analyst desk for the very last match of the LCK Spring Split regular split. We had some adjustment coming out from DRX, but Liv Sandbox, again, they still stick to this blind pick Gnar for the series. Maybe they had some confidence in this champion, but we are wondering if Gnar is really worth this blind pick. But Kingan was able to counter pick Gnar with this G's, but it was a bit surprising that actually the Sandbox was able to come out on top and take away the game at the end. So after their game up against Damwon Kia, Liv Sandbox always got their Gnar bent away, or they always just blind picked whenever they could. It was not about Liv Sandbox becoming too obsessed with this blind pick Gnar. It was more about they have been consistently feeling very confident in this Gnar pick. And they always had high priority for this first pick Gnar. And then Croco was doing a fantastic work on that Udyr compared to the last match. And in terms of the Ezreal, he had a very fantastic position to lend all of his ability onto DRX comp. Well, Live Sandbox does always kind of repeat their picks for over and over and over. And Soka, again, he also played Victor as well. Soka is also one of the players that has been facing a slump these days. So DRX, as they're heading into the playoffs, I think they have to try something new and check whether it really works. And also, they need to find some treatment in order to boost up their confidence. Leap Sandbox was able to finally find the value of the blind pick Gnar. So let's take a look at this first highlight of how Leap Sandbox was able to win their top side. Udyr actually skipped his blue buff and he instead cleared his blue cap earlier in this fight, and then he saw Lilia that was trying to start off that Herald. So instead of stopping her, Herald actually Kroko made the rotation to the lane and cleaned up that kill on Kingen. So they had Jace and Lilia comp, which means they have to snowball really hard with that Herald on the top side. That was the only winning recipe to shut down Gnar. However, Leap Sandbox was standing still and they were able to actually win the fight happening on the top lane. I think Pyosik didn't really have his eyes on the top lane Scuttle Crab, and that's where everything started off. Because of the top side priority that Leap Sandbox was having, they were not able to take away the Herald. Once Leap Sandbox can get ahead, they know how to close out the game. Leap Sandbox was able to pick up the objectives from the beginning, and then they were able to close out the game by taking down the opponents and then picking up the Baron. And this is the power of a fed Ezreal. There is no one that can take and tank the damage coming out from Ezreal. Everyone was pretty squishy. So Effort was able to just powerfully go in with Flash, and then Ezreal was able to free hit all the opponents. Because there was no tanky frontline on the side of DRX, it was so easy for Prince to chunk down the opponents. And then we had also at this Ocean Soul to keep them so healthy, and that the True Shot Barrage was landing exactly on the target that had the lowest HP. Leap Sandbox was already quite ahead at that point in the game, so they were able to push the mid lane wave. So DRX really wanted to contest for their vision around the mid lane, and Effort was able to just take a bold step forward and found so many opponents in the front line. And Prince will pick up the POG once again on Ezreal. Last time we also mentioned that he was having the matching hair color with the champion, that he got the POG, and still another fantastic performance on this pick. I think Prince is becoming one of the well-known players to play Ezreal here in the LCK Spring Split. Not many players have been showing a high priority on this pick so far, but heading into the end of the split, I think Prince has found one of his best friends. And we can also read this kind of a trust and belief on this player. I think Leap Sandbox also believed that if we gave Prince this champion, they were pretty sure that he's going to carry the entire team. Effort was also able to find so many huge engage throughout this game over and over. And then with that Quadra kill, he was able to close out the game, not even dying after that fountain dive, and Prince won 5 votes out of 9. DRX did get their playoff berth quite early, but they are now looking super shaky, so it's really important for them to get back in form. So let's check out game number 2.